Yes, 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 yes. I am excited, baby. What's the T? T, 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 T. What's
I'm
going on, Sammy?
whew,
Hey, Danny.
baby.
Hey, hey.
I'm still on the high from seeing my girl Danielle.
I'm not gonna lie, Danielle got me up and ready to rumble, baby. But I'm so glad Danielle went ahead and got up in the ass. But we're not talking about Jersey. We're gonna talk about another person that got in somebody's ass, and that's Silas getting into Jasmine's ass. We're gonna get into that because we're here for Summer House. But before we get started, the lady of the house, not me, but of course our
Hey,
favorite
wig!
Asia. You thought we were gonna do it our wig? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Bitch, you got Farrah Fawcett last week. You getting Shirley Temple, Asia D, Jackson this motherfucking week. Okay.
Pump
Come
the
on,
horn on
man.
them, Asia.
Hold on, hold
That's
on,
Don't be
hold
mad because
on.
my man fucked me so good. He snatched my wig out right before I started filming and threw that shit right the fuck back on. Bitch,
I
don't be
hear
mad at me.
I don't wanna. What's going on? Oh! Okay. With that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and lean on in, bitch. But before we do, make sure that you guys go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Comment on this video, you guys. I want to say something before we get started. It is very important and very prudent that we support shows like Summer House Martha's Vineyard because I saw that, of course, last time on the Great Real Housewives of Atlanta recap that we got, one of the things was, and one of the things that has been said that is, if you guys wanted Candy to talk about the shooting down to the OLG, then maybe they should not have canceled Candy and the gang. But if we do not support these shows and do not watch them live if we can, even if it's on the television and we're not in the room, if we got to have it on the live and we got to try to watch it on a replay too on Peacock or on our DVR because those numbers count and it helps because representation across the board amongst these platforms are very, very critical because this show brings a different dynamic. They talk about different things than we see on the Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac. And it is good to see people, around our age bracket because we did get the ages today that came across my desk. And honey, these bitches is old and young and they're in the same house. But it is very important that we have these representations of all people of color amongst a Bravo platform. So when things like the Real Housewives of New York happen, they don't blame the black girl or blame diversity like they like to blame it. I can go on and on, but I'm not. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is say hey to the people. Hey TKC, hey, I see you, baby. How you doing?
Hey, CKC.
TKC, you was on the people's head last night. Now you're not gonna come here with all that mess. You're gonna come here
you on
orderly and
that.
civilized. Okay. Hey, Best Jasmine, how you doing, Robo's Adventure? Who else is
Shout
in
out
the
to
room?
Jazz
Boom.
for having my
Art
back.
World.
Yes, Art World is always in the room. We love that. Thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and get right on into it, and we're gonna start before we start the review. I'm not sure if hey Cohen, we're not sure if everyone is aware of what slid across our desk. Oh Lord. What slid across our desk today was these texts from about 10 years ago from Amir. So let me go ahead and pull them up. Y'all know I'm not Miss Tech Savvy, but I'm gonna try to pull them up, honey. Give me 1 second, because I know I got them. Okay. We hire production assistants for anytime I host a show, because I can't be doing this shit. Okay.
We need
I
some
need to
interns.
learn.
If you looking for an internship, holler at the lean.
Okay, because baby, I got one for you. Pull up these damn
Danny's
texts
doing the
from Amir.
interviews, and
Okay.
Danny's doing the follow-up interview.
I thought I uploaded them. I don't know if I did. Okay, here's one of them. There they go. I did it right. Yay! Okay, if anybody can read that, because I can't see that the font is too small. If anybody wants to read that, please go ahead and be my guest.
Once you go black, you never go back. Once you go white, no man is ever right. Hashtag what really turns me on, a sexy yellow bone or a white girl. When white people
Ooh.
hate on you because you get the best of both worlds. Hashtag don't hate because you can't say you're half. As
Ooh.
the white community.
So what do we think about this? So I just want to add some context to it. It was these texts are from like 2011-ish. According to press time at Bravo, Amir is 26. So we'll say today he's 26. So if that was all those years ago, he was 15, 16, 14, whatever he was. He was a young little whippersnapper saying these comments, and he did make mention on the first episode that he was very excited to be in that atmosphere amongst the summer house roommates because that is not something that he got in his traditional upbringing, as well as in a city like Austin, where allegedly or apparently it is not as diverse as other cities throughout the Texas state. So, what do you guys think? Is this something that he has grown out of? What do you guys think? I just want to hear it really quickly.
That is very Austin of him. I can say that.
Mm.
It's and it sounds typical, being that that's where he's from, and how he said he hadn't really been around a black community. So I can get that being his mind frame. Has he grown out of it? I don't know. I do know he's dating a white woman now, so I know that phase is still there. But as far as everything else, I mean, who's to say? I can't tell. Hopefully, being in this house with these black people has kind of broadened his mind a little bit. He thinks a little differently. But like I told her earlier, we saw them haircuts he was getting, so he clearly didn't know right from wrong. So I'm not surprised at the
Bye.
I'm just being honest. I'm being honest. My view.
I'm being honest. I like that. That's cute. That's your new slogan. Whenever you say something real mean about somebody, just say I'm being honest.
That was just the truth.
Did he respond to did he address those texts coming out? Because I mean, to me, how he responds might be important. When you're that young, I can understand you saying some stupid, ignorant shit like that, but how you address it now would make a world of a difference.
Absolutely. As of press time, I haven't seen a response. That's not to say that he has not made one, but what I will say is that the way that the episodes are lined up, they're either going to have an 8-episode season or a 10-episode season, from what I surmise, because the Housewives of New York comes on July 16th, which is also on a Sunday after Atlanta. So if there's a 2-part reunion, it needs to be addressed. And I think that that is the perfect cast to hold him accountable, because they're not Preston, T-shirt Preston and those guys, they're not going to let them get away with it. So.
Well, I don't know if we saw those tweets. I don't see how Preston didn't see him, and he was sharing him on his page today with support and love, and Amir was reposting saying, "That's my Preston. I love my Preston." So he may just get away with it.
Yeah, may have
what they got going on?
Yeah.
There's some teas with that. We're gonna get into
Y'all
that.
want to know how I feel about it?
I really do. So we can go ahead and get the review started, because I know you got something to say about it.
I just kind of feel like you don't outgrow hate for black women. I don't think that's something you outgrow, because that's been your preference. I don't think somebody is gonna teach you what you want to fuck.
No, that's true.
Interesting. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And whoop, there it is. With that being said, there's nothing to say about that. It is what it is. And she said what she said. That's her square.
That's down that.
Catch. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and pick up that the dinner, and Jordan wants to make herself very clear about any misconceptions that the group may have about her social media presence and image, and she lets them know that anytime that she's out after a certain time at night, it's a check involved, and she is not irresponsible. Silas says that him and Jordan are good as they get in the car, and Mariah does affirmations with her son before he goes to bed, but it sounds like he was already in the bed. But whatever works for you, girl. Wake up. Get your affirmations in. But they were cute, I must admit. Everyone is headed to bed, and then Jasmine shares with Silas that she felt he was too hard on Jasmine, and so he responds by pounding her puss to sleep. Now, I want to ask this question, and then I want to get you guys' thoughts. So there was some dialogue about that, a very raunchy scene on the social media, and I asked the guys in the chat today how they felt about it, but I ask you, and that goes for the group chat as well in the comments. Let us know how you feel about this. So I don't watch OG Summer House. So apparently that is a thing that they do, that anytime someone hooks up, they get that graphic. They show the thrusting, the grinding, the winding, and the moans. And so on social media, people felt that it was distasteful and tacky. And so my question is, as Black people or POCs, are we more conservative when it comes to sex than it is with, white people? Or is it that we're just being team too much? Or like, what do you guys think? Are we justified in are they justified in feeling like it was team too much, or are we just prudes? I don't know. What do you guys think? And then what did you think about all of that happened?
I think without people, because like me, I'm one of the ones, I never watched OG Summer House, So I didn't know that they showed that before, and I think that not knowing that that's something that they do on the old Summer House, I can see how people might think, well, why are they showing that on the Black show? You know, because that's not something that if we don't watch that, we don't normally see on Bravo. So I can see people feeling some kind of way about it, not knowing that that's done on the regular Summer House. So I don't know.
It caught me off guard. I must admit. I said, "Wait, is she?"
Me too.
I've seen. You know, we see the getting in the bed. You know, we've seen that kind of stuff before. But those moans, I was like, they couldn't have left the sister moans out. Like I was really caught off guard. I'm sorry, Sammy. Go ahead.
You ever think his butt for a second?
Saw that ass.
Yeah, that's how they do over there at Summer House. Is it the original one? Like basically, they just spend the whole summer hooking up or acting a fool or something.
Which is why Jasmine was trying to get everybody to hook up episode 1, and Jordan was like, well, if we like each other, we're going to do it anyway. Calm down.
It was very Shekinah. It was very Shekinah. That keep that over there. I don't know nothing about that life. That's not me.
I feel like you sign up for what you sign up for, and if that's what the fuck they want to show, if they want to show a married couple fucking, show it. I feel like I'm like, dang, my mama got to see this. But then I'd be like, dang, I signed up for a TV show and they got cameras in my room. Like, I don't know. And I feel like without context, and most of us just now watching Black Summer House and not watching original Summer House, we're going to have questions. But I would challenge us to actually watch the original franchise and see what they do before we jump to conclusions. Because if they do actually show that on regular Summer House, then we're just typing words. We can do 140 characters or something else.
Yeah, that's a hell of a challenge. I won't be watching OG Summer House, but
I fuck your husband, girl. Yes.
Yeah. Listen, it's her husband.
We're trying to figure out why you with him, so this must be why.
Oh, baby, because I have a lot of questions.
It clearly plays a part. You heard them moan. She was satisfied, so it clearly.
Oh, baby, okay.
Period.
I'm not concerned about them showing it. I'm concerned about him going 90 miles an hour.
Well, she used to laying down that car, so he wanted to give her something she was used to, something she could feel.
Lay me out, baby.
Are we still talking about? Are we talking about that? Are we talking about that scene as a whole, or just?
Well, from the beginning up until the softcore porn scene.
Okay, so then I am glad to hear that she addressed him for addressing. Was it Jordan? Jordan, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad that she told him, you know, your issue was really with me, not with her. So I'm glad that because last week we were saying we didn't really care how she just let that go on. So I like how she did it too. That she waited until it was just the two of them, and she told him, "Hey, you didn't have to do it."
You gotta be a dumb bitch to embarrass your man.
Your man, yeah.
Yeah. So that was appreciated. I like that.
She not going back to the car. She said that and she meant that.
She got her dick that night too. So.
Oh, baby, did he pound out pussy to the
win-win?
Maybe that's why he was pumping so hard and going so fast. They used to do it in the car and getting it over with.
Stop.
You gotta keep it
2020.
Oh my God, I just don't want to see no more of that. I'm sorry. I know y'all listen. I ain't got to see it. I'm all right with it. Okay. Now Jasmine gets up and she cooks for Silas, which she says is one of her duties as a wife. Silas says that when he found out. See, you have to listen to what these people say and how they look at each other when they say it, because it was a lot of subtlety in what he said. But I'm on to you. You think you're nickel slick baldy, but I got you paid to change. Because Silas says when he found out Jasmine and Mariah lived in a car, he realized he would need to keep her and them financially organized, and there are things that she needs more push on. That was a red flag to me. Exactly.
It's the
now listen, you advocate, you advocate for your spouse and you want the best for your spouse, and it is okay to push your spouse, but it didn't feel like it was coming from that place. It felt like he married a child. So I don't want to say that in relation to that, but I don't know a better word, so I'm going to say the word and you guys help me with it. Is he grooming her? Like, is he like, what do you call it? Grooming is.
She's very much damsel in distress, and a lot of people who are married are that.
Okay. Okay.
And you would not believe it, but I also was a damsel, not for money, because baby, I got that, but
Mm,
for other reasons. So a lot of
yeah.
women, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm married, so I know, but I feel like a lot of women, especially Black women, are damsel in distress for one reason or another, whether we like to admit it or not. And there are things that we yearn from our spouse. And I can't speak on behalf of a man needing the same thing, but I can speak from a woman's perspective. I need
Yeah.
my man shit and
And
fill in my gaps, please. And he's filling in her gaps, whether it's a good or bad thing, I don't know, but it's apparent because she
yeah,
ain't going back to that car.
and you know what? You said I agree with you said Asia too, and also I don't want to put it all on him about speaking like a daddy as we say, because that may be the way she presented to herself to him as what she needs too. It's
I
not.
need you to get me out this back seat. I need you to.
It could not. It might just not. It could not just be that he's controlling as we see her,
Okay.
or whatever. It could be that that's what she presented to him that she wants. Maybe we don't know relationship with her parents, her father, nothing. He could be feeling like Asia said a lot of voids for her.
Sammy, is it too early to call? Or is the man controlling? What's the tea?
Um, I don't know. Because a part of me, when he made that comment, it was like, but then I have to remember he's like a financial analyst or something. So that's kind
Yes,
of
he works
like
in finance.
right. But I don't, it just, from the scene at the table at the little restaurant and then hearing him say that, it's like, are you trying to make sure she's okay as her husband? Or are you just trying to control the entire situation? So I don't know. I guess we have to wait a little while and keep seeing, I guess.
And maybe he
Okay, we're
can't
gonna
just
give it
turn
some
off
time.
his work. Maybe he can't turn off work mode either.
Oh Lord Jesus, that's the worst.
You're gonna have to
Um,
cut it off.
you have to cut that off, baby. I ain't gonna be able to deal with that.
I'm not your
Um,
client. I'm your wife. So you're
okay.
gonna have to cut that off.
Cause do you pound your client's pavement in the dust like you did me last night? What's
Not
going on,
on the
baby? The people are
shoulders,
talking. The
Chase.
people are really hooked up about this sexy. It was seem too much, I must admit, honey. Now Jasmine says that she was single for 4 years and they matched on Hinge. I've never heard of Hinge, but is that like a straight dating app or something like that?
No, I'm on there.
Wait a minute.
I don't know if I want to
Okay.
meet nobody on nothing called Hinge. I don't,
Hinge
So wait,
on
hold on. What dating apps y'all be on?
Well, Sammy don't be on none. He got a man.
I was waiting to Chase answer. We heard Danny say Hinge, and Chase looking up for God. Where?
Chase is a Christian. He don't be on nothing but the Bible.
I'm gonna keep it real. Hello, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. But I'm also on Jacked. But see, here's the thing, though, right? So I am on dating apps and I match with people. Look at the pictures, have a little conversation. But I actually have not met anyone off of any dating app in a great number of years because it's just not safe. And if you know me, I'm always like the worry wart of the group. Like, oh my God, what if this happens? This could happen. This could happen.
The
And
daddies.
so I always think of I think of like worst case scenarios and in a lot of what I've seen lately for our demographic, the worst case scenario is death, and I don't want to die at the hands of no social media app. So
And that
it's
is
been
not
happening
I
a
don't.
lot lately too.
that's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
fair. I
it's
don't
not
like
fair.
that shit.
It's not
It is
fair.
what it is, but that's not Asia. Don't subscribe to that shit. Like I feel like everybody should be able to go get their dick however they feel like getting it without having
Yeah,
to worry about being killed by somebody who hates people.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now I got to go on back into the club and work the set like I used to, baby. When I tell you I did it 2 weeks ago, Mama
You
was
better give him
working
the
the what
shoulders, Chase.
set,
You gotta be your
baby.
man,
I gave it to
Paul.
the people. Okay, honey. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. With that being said, yes. So Jasmine said she was single for 4 years before they matched on Hinge at the top of the pandemic, April 6th, to be exact. And Silas said by November, he knew that that was his wife. Jasmine never thought she'd end up with someone who is Liberian, considering where she's from, but she's with him. She loves him. That's her man, and she gonna ride beside him. Now we have two house guests that are going to be joining this episode as well, and the housemates are doing various activities. Amir has his Titanic moment with Jordan, which I don't think he really knew what the Titanic was either. So I don't understand at this point what kind of household he was raised in because he don't know about black people and he don't know about the Titanic. Something's amiss. You're lying about something, boo. And
That's
Nick
right about
says,
white people.
I'm trying to figure. Well, then why have you not watched the Titanic? That is
You
crazy
got
to
to be
me.
around some white people to be out there kayaking, so he know.
Kayaking and look damn good doing it too. Snap out of it, Chase. Snap out of it, Chase. He don't like
Because you're
black
not his
women.
type, just FYI. And
He don't. I'm a black woman, and he doesn't like us. Allegedly, I don't know. Allegedly, Amir, if that's not true, then I would definitely clarify myself. But as of now, my brother, your 15-year-old self is telling the truth. Now Nick also mentions that he slid in Shanice's DMs, and at this point, I'm getting that Nick's a creep. I don't know.
I've been told you that.
Why is he giving creep vibes? I just want to hear from a man
I feel like he's
or
a
a young
creep
black
because
lady.
you're sliding on multiple women in the same house. That's creep vibes to me. And then the way that he does either he's a creep or he's lame. Because the way that he's approaching the girls in the DM, and two things can be true at the same time, you can be both. But it's just something off-putting about it, like he ain't never had no pussy. And that's just what I feel. I don't know. And I can give him some if people go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I don't think it's a creep to slide in someone's DM. You know, once
It's
or twice.
not.
But like you said, Chase, he slid in Shanice's DM knowing that he had already been all up in Jordan's and their friends. So that's kind of weird to me, especially, I guess maybe once he saw he couldn't get in Jordan's no more because she restricted him, he went on to the next one.
You had to be a creep for her to do that, unless she just is doing too much. What y'all think?
Clearly, he's. I'm gonna say doing too much because the both of them has said like no, like they accept the compliments, they say thank you, but they're both told. Well, Jordan told us in the confessional he's just not her type, and then later on Shanice says like yeah, so he's clearly doing too much according to them.
I just feel like he has some nerve to be like, oh, Shanice don't look like she does. She presents herself online. Nigga,
I hollered when I saw that, Asia.
if you don't get your corny ass colored denim motherfucking ass the fuck out of here, you fucking
And it's sad
lame
because he's probably a good guy too. That's the sad part. He's probably a good guy if he's.
He probably is gonna be a good man to somebody.
No, he won't. Let me tell you why.
Feel it. Give it.
Let me tell you why. Because
Okay.
being a self-proclaimed good guy means you are the worst type of nigga and you do not need
Because why are you telling us?
Ban the microphones. Amazon. Ban microphones from Nick.
They won't do it. They just will not do it.
You know what, Asia? You got a point because he's also the type, if he has a girl, you could tell he just, I don't want to say thirsty, but it come across, he might present cocky, but he's also probably insecure and don't get much attention. So if he has a girlfriend, another woman show him attention, he'll probably cheat on her just because he's not used to getting attention either.
It's the worst.
Now he's on TV too.
Kind of lame to be. The fake nice guy is the worst kind of lame to be, and that's why last week I said he is 100% not my type, and it's because you are a self-proclaimed nice guy, and I can almost bet 9 times out of 10 that shit is gonna come up at some point in this season.
Yeah, you gotta let other people say you're the nice guy. You can't be going around saying it yourself.
You know what he gives me though? I would say
it's the worst when they are so self-absorbed and still lack like self-awareness. Because how do you not know that, as much as you're into yourself, how do you not know that you are coming off as a creep to these girls?
Because he might not be a creep on purpose, but he is, and I think he's the type of guy that women don't feel comfortable shooting down initially because you don't know how crazy he is because he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I think he also isn't the only one in the house that is a self-proclaimed nice guy. I think they all think they're nice guys.
And that's why none of them are my type except Preston, and he don't like me, so.
Well, I don't know TKC if he's a Lawrence from Insecure, but if he is, then you definitely can send him my way. But I do think that the thing about Nick is he gives me like one of those kind of guys that goes above and beyond to like win you over. You're walking down the street and he's chasing behind you like he's Michael Jackson or Chris Brown or somebody like, I got roses for you, baby. And then he gets you and he dogs you the fuck out. And that's what I think.
That, Chase. I can see
so
that.
From Chris Brown to Chris Brown, basically.
That's a fake nice guy. That's self-proclaimed. And most fashion niggas are like that. That's why I called him a fashion nigga last week.
I love fashion.
With no fashions.
All right.
Speaking of fashion,
you might be a self-proclaimed fuckboy too, then, Chase.
I would have to date to know that, so I don't know. But
Jesus is your man.
Jesus can't fuck me at night. And I love you, but I'm so sorry.
Oh, all right.
Please forgive me. Now I gotta listen to Clark sisters all night because you guys are horrible people. With that being said, like and subscribe to this video. And I repent, God. I'm sorry. I took the joke too
He
far. Yeah.
forgives you. He knows your heart.
Okay, good. Because why I was a little scared about that when I was like, "Up, hell you go." With that being said, the fashion dude is going to be wearing jeans to bowling, and that has got to be pretty freaking uncomfortable. Anyway, the group is bowling, and Bria has is it Milo or Milo? Because I always forget.
Milo.
The dog.
I always has that dog. Well, she has that dog in a
Hairy
bubble.
nigga.
What was that bag? Is that like against the law? Can you do that to
It had
dogs?
holes. It had holes in it. But my thing is, after being in that bag, Milo gonna need his own damn ESA to support him
Okay.
emotionally.
Well, he actually looked really relaxed. He was in there just chilling. I guess he just knew he ain't had
I
no
also
damn
want
time.
to
He
stop
might drug
calling.
the dog to take him out. Like, you know how they drug dogs before they put them on planes so they be quiet the whole time?
Yeah, not
What is
I
that
didn't know
true?
that.
this episode made me call BS on her needing an ESA too, because the dog got to be in the house, got to go with her bowling, but she damn sure left that dog locked up when it was time to go hoe at night in the club.
She gonna pop that pussy. The dog is in that room. Bye. I got to go. So Jasmine asks, what would Bria's boyfriend? This whole scene, you guys, was I don't know. I want y'all to weigh in on it. Jasmine asked, what would Bria's boyfriend Simon be doing if he were there with them at that current moment? And Bria said he'd probably be buying everyone food and drinks. And Preston said, shit, I'll take it. And it's just like Preston just pops up out of nowhere and is like, hey, I'm Preston. Let me sprinkle in my little thing, and I'm gonna go on out, which is all right with me, I guess. Um, Preston says he'll take it. Jasmine wants to know why they're talking about Simon's money, as she has a man and she doesn't need Simon's money. Bria wants to know if Simon can come the last week, and Jasmine kind of hesitates, but she explains that it's harder for him to leave Germany for 2 to 3 days at a time as opposed to leaving for a more extended period. Silas immediately jumps in and agrees, and Jasmine says, hey, if it makes you happy, then she's for it. However, Bria isn't convinced that it's genuine. Jasmine says Bria will tell everyone that Jasmine doesn't respect her relationship. And she says, of course, she doesn't respect her relationship because it's not a marriage. She then goes on to say that Bria goes from man to man and is going to start calling them $1, $2, and $3. Before I turn it on to you guys, I just want to say that she is exactly who I thought she was. She looks down on people who are single, and you know the balance in your friendships in your marriage is an honest balance, because I have a friend who's married and she's had to work that balance out, of course, I'm sure. And that is a real thing, but it must be doubly hard when you are being a judgmental ass bitch. Y'all go ahead,
That's why her friendships are not balanced. She is her own
because
problem.
she's the imbalance in the balance.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Sammy.
She's her own problem. When she mentioned, when she was like, "Why are we talking about what's the man name in Germany? Is it Steve?"
Simon.
Yeah. Well, she was asking like, "Why are we talking about his money?" Well, girl, you literally just asked her if he was here, what would he be doing? She's telling you what he would be doing. She just wants an issue with the girl. What I don't get is why she agreed to let him come on the trip and stay in the house if she is just not fond of it. It's I'm just not understanding her train of thought, or if she even has one at this point. She's trying to look like she's okay and that she's being cool, but you really have an issue with it. So I don't know. Jasmine's just like I said last week. I have a feeling her and her husband going to end up getting on my nerves by the time this is all over with.
I'm there already.
They are on the path for that. So,
Yeah,
they're on the path. Already.
2 episodes in.
No, because for me, I think that was some bullshit of Jasmine to say. I don't care if you think that, you know how she says Bria's always switching men. I really don't care. You don't have to be married to have your relationship respected. Like, that's some bullshit to say. I don't care if I got 15 different men at 15 different times. You go respect every situation I'm in at the time. And that's just
switch
that.
them out until you get it right, until you feel like you found what you want. It's that simple.
That's what she did, right?
I mean,
She was on Hinge.
She went from pillow to post until she got it right.
She went from corner to corner until she got it
Damn,
right in the
Danny.
car. In the car. In the car.
She really rubbed me wrong this episode, Asia. It was
I didn't
just
like it either.
And I
you,
didn't.
and she forgot where she came from that quickly.
Yeah, ooh, Danny.
And that whole comment about I don't respect her relationship because it's not a marriage.
What was that?
Bitch, you been married for all of 3 months. Calm the hell the
And you got
fuck
engaged after
down.
6 months. A lot of people probably didn't respect you getting engaged after 6 months.
I
Well,
like
here's
Jasmine.
the thing. I like her too. I don't like that side of her.
That
And it's
I
starting
think,
to show more often than not for me.
I
Well,
think
what
it's
do you like?
only
Because that's all
for
she been
Bria.
showing.
To me, it's giving bully, and I don't say that. I don't say that lightly, and I didn't think it last week, but this week it's giving bully because either they did these confessionals after, and she's fed up with Bria, so now she's saying all this shit.
Which
But
makes sense.
I hope that's what it is versus her bullying her there. And in my mind, it's the first thing where it's just like, okay, this bitch done pissed me off at the end, so now I'm gonna say what I was being nice. However, to have even after the fact, like you need to if you want people to respect you as a wife, you need to respect yourself as a wife, and you can't them 90-mile-an-hour threats ain't gonna keep you happy for the rest of your life. You need women in your life as well. And you have to realize that like you're not gonna need to be saved for the rest of your life. Get your money now, but I think she is excited, Cortez. I'm just saying, like, when you switch up like that, it's not becoming of you. And if you want people to respect you as a wife, like you keep saying in these confessionals, then be that bitch. Like that people can look up to. Like you talking shit about people who ain't married, bitch, you just got married. And once again, you are a motherfucking passenger princess, literally and figuratively.
Woo.
Like, calm
Yeah,
the fuck down.
I agree with you. And another thing too, I don't care how much, I know you were saying about how maybe she was fed up with Bria, if they filmed this after. I still think that no matter how fed up you are with somebody, you still respect a relationship. But again, I see what you mean. She probably sick of her because Bria's not likable. She hasn't had one likable scene yet in these 2 episodes.
She's not.
She's not likable at all.
But I like Jasmine more than I like Bria.
Agreed.
It might be her name, but she gets Princess Jasmine at the end of the day. You're a damsel, and calm down with that shit, please. And Bria is still forehead. She need a Shirley Temple wig. She needs to cover that forehead up too with a bang.
Not the bang. Listen,
yeah, bang.
You know what I think that they're finding out because Sam, you asked me what is it about Jasmine that I like, as if these have been the majority of her scenes being judgy, being hoity, and all of those things. For me, I think what I like about her, and I think that they're discovering about each other, the girls who've known each other for a long time, as opposed to real friends, which I would say Mariah and Jasmine are, is they're realizing that they were surface level friends.
Mhm.
And so as they get to know each other more intimately, being stuck in this house together, they're seeing things that they don't like about each other and it's not working. And I think that when I look at Jasmine on the surface, she seems just like a nicer person, more genuine person, a funner person than as opposed to Bria. Bria gives me definitely like social media girl. And when I say that, I mean like the girl that's in the club popping bottles, and that is her aesthetic. And don't get me wrong, I'm in the club popping bottles too, but that's not my aesthetic. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I look at the two of them and I figure out who I feel like on the surface is a better person, I would go with Jasmine as opposed to Bria. So maybe that's why I like a little bit more.
Yeah.
Agree 100%. Jasmine still has some redeemable qualities. I ain't seen one in Bria.
Yeah,
The one
me
that I've
neither.
seen in Bria that I'm rolling with is that she's been Bria every time we've seen her.
She ain't no punk. I'm gonna give her that because
give me
baby.
who you are, so I don't have to worry about this other side of you when I'm not around. Like the side of you that was gonna talk about me at the table, then when you see me, you came and want to talk to me. Like don't do that. Give me who you are. We can work.
Come on with the receipts because Jasmine was fake last week.
Yeah, she's been a couple of times already, just 2 episodes in.
Y'all
Well,
can't be fighting for my life for Jasmine, okay?
well, I'm not gonna. I'm
On the
not gonna
flip
throw.
side,
I'm
Sammy,
not gonna down the sword for Jasmine. That's not gonna happen with me.
on the flip
It is
side,
what it
I would
is.
still rather be around Jasmine because I still know she's fake, so I would know how to deal with her, and she's more tolerable to be around than Bria.
Jasmine seems more like a good time because she's gonna cater to whatever the vibe is. It could be fake or not, but bitch, I'm delusional too. So
I'm not gonna lie.
cater to me.
I
We
love
going
hanging
out for a
around
good
her.
time. Take me with Bria because Bria, she's gonna be
Oh,
the difference.
Bria finna get me drunk. We finna
And I ain't
bottle
got to worry
down,
about
shot
Silas
up.
calling my phone, cussing me out because you ain't came
Okay.
home yet. I'm going with him. Give me Bria.
Love should have brought you home last
Give
night.
me Bria.
Jasmine, I got to go, girl. I ain't got time for it. With that being said, you guys like and subscribe to this video. Thank you for tuning in. Jersey is tomorrow, so you guys go ahead and make sure you tune in for that. It was a firecracker of an episode. Every time I say that word, I laugh. Please go back and watch yesterday's Real Housewives of Atlanta recap. It was great. There was a lot of dialogue, and everything from what I surmised was discussed. Catch that dirt. And they better be lucky I wasn't on that show because the way they threw Kenya Moore ass up last night, not on my watch, baby. Not me.
Well, you would
Now,
have
she's a
probably.
lot
I
of
think
things.
you were going to add to it.
I was going to add the truth, but then, after a while, okay, good Lord.
You're going to be like, hold
Good
up
Lord.
now.
Wait a minute, love.
They
Because
were
somebody
slinging
was
my
talking
girl
about,
left and right. They got me a little bit too. I had to stop trying to defend it. They hit me
they was
upside
talking about
the head.
blow up booty and all that. I said, what do that have to do with the DMs? Anyway, we're going to move forward. And Mariah's hosted a Moon Mass, which is church without God. And you can count that church without me because I don't play about the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But
Fuck that moon ass.
But the God is within. It's the God in me. That's what she said. That was the theme of the event. The group is thoroughly confused, as am I. And Mariah clarifies that it is a hoodoo practice. And I'm not going to speak on hoodoo, voodoo, doo doo, boo boo, none of that. You got it. The group surrounds the fire because I don't need that kind of. I don't need that. The group surrounds the fire in their pajamas and in the freezing cold. And Silas goes to check on Jasmine, and Nick is utterly confused as to why he's going to check on his wife since she only went down the hall and not out of the country. And I said, oh, there goes our effing storyline. They sick of that shit already. Would you guys have attended a moon mass? And if so or if not, let us know. And was Nick well within his rights to be confused, or is he just confused in general about how to send a DM to a woman, how to talk to a woman, and how to keep one when they get one? What's going on, y'all?
No,
Talk to me.
you fake ass nice nigga. You fashion nigga.
Oh my God.
Chase.
Oh my God.
What I will say is this: I do feel that Mariah had a right to feel offended that nobody took it seriously. I feel like
we haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, my bad. Well, I wouldn't have gone.
Oh my God.
Wait, not that she had to feel offended, but I'm gonna be a part of the offendation because I ain't going either.
I wouldn't have attended. I'm not going outside in the cold for no reason to look at the moon.
Warm,
I know what it looked like. I can see it outside my window right now.
You know what? That's my thing, and I would have done it out of respect for her to try to let's participate. But you have to move this show along, baby. You out here monotone, ain't nothing exciting about it. We freezing. Hurry this shit up so we can go on inside.
Are we going to talk about the offended part yet, Chase? Or are we getting to that?
Yeah, we're gonna get into it right now.
Okay,
Somebody said that I was scared last night. And I want to say, not me, not me. Robo said, Mariah, but she should have let them go to bed. Yeah, I do feel like Mariah should have. That's a good point. I do feel that Mariah should have read the room, and she did not. With that being said, Mariah is hosting their ceremony, and the group is struggling through the exercise. Mariah wants to know if they would like to say anything, and one of the ladies says, yes, I'd like to go inside. I ain't gonna lie. This episode gagged me like 3 or 4 times. Like,
that was Jordan, right?
Oh, it sounded like Bria. It did.
I thought it was Bria. But you know what?
like
When she said it, I was laying on the couch watching it. When she said, does anybody want to say anything? I said out loud, hell, I would want to go inside. When I said that, she said it right after me. When I said, they just look. It was not fun. She reading chakra. She should have been reading the room. She talking about this just chakra. You reading the wrong. These people don't care about this. They don't want to be here. Go inside and have
see,
some fun.
that's why I feel like they're wrong though. Like she told you what it was going to be. It was church without God, all this stuff.
It was not clear.
If you weren't going to go out there to take it seriously, that's why I wasn't going to go, because I feel like going out there to not
Danny.
going out there to not take it seriously, that's disrespectful to her. I would have rather just told her, girl, I'm not into all that. I ain't going. I'll catch you inside. You say you wasn't going outside because it was cold, Asia. It could have been hot. I wasn't going.
But do you think that she did a good job of explaining to them exactly what was going to
No,
be?
nobody
Once
understood
you told
what
me
she said.
once you say church without God, I
I
ain't
was
going.
just gonna say that's when I would have clocked out right there. What do you mean? Because you are now you sound like a witch and all this. We not church without God.
To voodoo for me.
Well, listen, it's not within the hoodoo of it all. I don't have anything to say about that. But when she would have said church without God, I would have politely let her know, baby, he's with me everywhere I go. Okay, he's all over me, and he's keeping me alive, and I ain't going without her. And you ain't gonna make me. I ain't going.
She would have been mad at me because I'm one of those people that have terrible time. Like I probably would have looked around and seen how I just checked out everybody was and bust out laughing. She would have been pissed.
We would have looked at each other and laughed, Sammy.
Yeah.
Can I say, wait, Sammy? Amir made me laugh too, because Amir say, now what y'all doing? Baby, I laughed again.
Yeah,
she was
2016 to 2020 Asia would have been like, all right, let's get this girl a try, because I got money, whatever. Pandemic Asia is like, absolutely the fuck not, bitch. Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and I need this money. I need to preserve what I got, so I'm not even fooling with you and the devil, or lack thereof. I don't give a fuck, but no.
I wasn't going. I'll say it again. I'm not.
2016 to 2020 Asia would have gone.
2012 Danny would not have gone. I was not going.
Wait, Danny. Sammy, what were you saying?
I'm sorry.
I was just saying how she would have been mad. She probably would have cast a spell on me because I would have bust out laughing.
Okay, anyway, I know I ain't let you go for you to say that like that.
Silas went up in there looking for Jasmine. You know what I'm
He didn't want to go neither.
He did not.
I'm going with you, and I'm not coming back out.
Nick, worry about yourself. Because me and my wife,
Silas, you all right over there?
Things in our bed, okay?
Yes, Chase, that would have been me.
So
what you say, Silas?
I still don't fault her in this situation, though. She told people what it was going to be, and they decided to go out there. They should have been respectful when they went out there.
I feel like you don't think they tried, Danny, because they were there.
Tried. That's why they showed up. I think that was the try. And speaking of that, Danny, hold on 1 second. Excuse me, Asia. I apologize. Mariah says that she feels defeated. I'm sorry. Mariah says that she feels defeated because people weren't taking it seriously as she wanted this to be an opportunity for her to connect, and now her wall is up.
Well, I wasn't going.
I just feel like it's the same thing. This to me is similar to the dog situation. Like, girl, you can't be mad that even in the middle of it, like, I don't want to do this shit. All right, I see what this is. I'm not going to go through with it, or I'm ready to go because it's some bullshit to me. Just like, all right, this dog shit is some bullshit. Like, no. So in my mind, I'm like, how you going to be mad that she's being inconsiderate with the dog, but you're mad because they're not feeling your witchcraft?
And the thing with that is, I'm one of those people, like, the spiritual stuff. Like, I don't like everybody to pray for me, and that, I mean, we don't know how your spirit was. And let's be real. Think about it. She did all that chakra. This is for your doggy, and then later on in the episode, the dog started all that shit. We don't know what Mariah was dealing with. I don't put your witchcraft, hoodoo, voodoo shit on me. I don't want to do it. I'm going inside.
You just can't be mad when people. That's not, to me. That's not something that you. If everybody's not like that, don't be mad.
Including people who want to do it
for them with this shit that they don't know nothing about. Like, you're not delusional to this shit. You're actually very intentional, Mariah. So calm the fuck down.
I just, with the thing you said about the dog thing, I think there's a difference still because Bria forced the dog on them. Mariah told them ahead of time, like you say, what it was going to be, and they still had the decision to. They had a choice in the matter. Is the only thing they came to that.
It's completely different, but what I'm coming from is the consideration aspect as the person. I don't think that the two incidents are the same, but you have to have that same thought process when somebody just disagrees with what you're doing. Yeah. You can't be mad. You disagree with her with this dog shit. They disagree with you with this witchcraft moon shit. Like, you can't be hypocritical with that.
It was self-inflicted.
Period.
Now we're gonna move on. The roomies are preparing for another day, and Shanice arrives. She's ready to get it popping, and she looked at Nick, and Nick looked at her, and they said, "No, ma'am, it's not gonna happen." But then Shanice got her eyes fixated on my man Alex, and it looks like there are sparks between them. Not only are there sparks between Shanice and Alex, there is a frolic going on amongst the garden because Jasmine has lost her rabbit ass mind and doing cartwheels in the grass. And Bria and Shanice link up and they're excited for Phil to come. And Bria tells a story about how he paid for everything and got her blackout drunk. Now Jasmine says to the ladies that being married is the most rewarding yet hardest thing in her life, as she can no longer be the Jasmine in her 20s. She's struggling with balancing um, her marriage and her friendship, and it hasn't been an easy adjustment. They talk about the guys, and Shanice says that Nick is a no because he isn't her type. They all agree that Alex is the hottest guy in the house, except for Preston. And Shanice wants to know who has BDE, and Mariah stops in with her BAD attitude and lets everybody know that she has the biggest BDE energy in the house. Did you guys have any comments on that whole section? With Jasmine stating how she's had a hard time struggling balancing the marriage and the relationships with her friends, Shanice's arrival, or anything else in that passage?
I like that Shanice told her maybe she's just spending too much time with her husband. That's probably why the balance isn't there. And I also think that Nick, to try to say that Shanice looks different from her Instagram, was just lame.
It was low.
It was unnecessary. I mean, was she supposed to come in there with her hair and stuff already done, like and makeup on?
And nobody's hair is done in the house. So what's that about?
It ain't been done the whole time. So why are you picking on her about it?
Jeans.
One pair.
Fashion nigga.
Not I'm getting cussed out in text. They said I'm on the lean every day when they try to call me.
Tell them you got a job, okay, and you do it well.
Period. We can't do it without Danny, so they got to get over it.
Can't do it without none of us.
The only thing I have to say is I feel like the transition is hard, but you decide who you want to be in your marriage, and that's on you. You can't put that on nobody else because ain't nobody else around you got married. That's on you. It's hard.
That's not true, Cortez.
She seems like she wants her friends to get acclimated to her marriage versus her doing it her damn self. Like she's trying to figure out her marriage, but she wants her friends to remember that she's married too. And sometimes, like she wants them to have the same type of. If she got to go in at 2:00, y'all need to go in at 2:00. That's what it seems like she wants.
Basically, y'all not having fun without me.
Baby, I mean, get over it. You decide you pick the dick and not living in a car.
I would have said, girl, if you don't go brush your hair and get out my face. Okay, that wasn't nice. Y'all like and subscribe to this video. Because I have a feeling that because they're first seasoners, they're going to be reading every tweet and watching every review. And so if you're new to this platform, we get our jokey joke in, and don't take it to heart. We love y'all and we appreciate y'all for being on this platform and sharing your lives and giving us something to talk about. So I just want to say that, okay? Because I know you see us up here and we're talking about it, but y'all live in it. So I just want to say that because I know they're probably going to be pretty new to this. Now, for them other battle axes on New Jersey and Atlanta and Bras and Beverly Hills,
they can get
said it, and that is what it is, and we don't give a damn. But I got a little bit more of a heart for my brothers and sisters on this show, and y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about it, but that's how I feel about it. And it's
agree 100%.
My square. All right, you guys, we're going to move on because I don't know what happened with the time, but it is escaping us, and we don't want to be here all night. So Nick is the one. The first one ready for the night out. And of course, he is the fashion guru, as Asia likes to call him. And Mariah lets him know that, you look sharp for a Nickelodeon flat. And I laughed again. I said, God damn it, this show is funny. So with that being said, Mariah goes to check the laundry and she notices that Bria has put that nasty, dirty ass dog's laundry in with the clean laundry, and she confronts her on it. Bria says it's fine because it's just the pool towels and everything is clean. Mariah says she doesn't care what she put it with, and Bria says it's her personal problem and it is not Bria's problem. It's Mariah's personal problem and not Bria's problem, and that is something that Bria has a habit of doing when she's confronted with her wrongdoing, is saying, well, actually, Sheree, I think that you have the problem, so I feel like you should just explain. Um, Mariah says she doesn't care what she put it with. Again, and Mariah says that it's Bria's problem, and then she shoves the items onto Bria. Bria throws them back at Mariah, and they are now yelling at each other's face. Bria tells Mariah to watch her tone, and Mariah says, "No, bitch, you watch your tone." And then Bria says, "You need to watch your tone." And I was like, "Oh,
It,
I get it." All her life, she's had to fight down to that Playboy Club because Bria is no punk. Okay, you can say a lot of things you want to say
no,
about
she
Bria
her.
is.
or Amir.
Well, no, she is, because she said, "Call me a bitch again," and Mariah said, "Bitch," and nothing happened. So she a punk.
Well, no, something did happen. She threw something at Mariah. Mariah said, "Girl, I eat girls like you for lunch every day, darling." That don't even move me. And I'm glad that she didn't give her any more of her power because what I will say about this argument, I'm not doing it justice, you guys. If you have not seen it, go watch it. It is epic. But what I will say is Mariah lost, regardless to whether she was right or she was wrong, because when you do anything that moves into the realm of being physical and you're confronted with somebody who is never wrong, but is constantly always in the wrong. They look for any reason to escape their wrongdoing. And by you putting your hands on her, you automatically null and voided it for her. It's not any longer about her poor upkeep with a dog that she did not let anybody know that she was bringing. If I brought a dog to a house, I would be walking behind that dog every chance I got, wiping his ass, scooping his pooper, making the dog do the laundry, keeping the dog out of people's way because I didn't even ask to bring the dog here, let alone me having the dog be a mess or me put the dog's things with anything. But because you put your hands on her, so she likes to stay, it's null and void, and that is no longer the focus. Now the focus is that you're violent and you won't cop to your wrongdoing. And you, Mariah, blew your wad and you lost it. You lost your cool and you let a bitch like Bria get under your skin. Y'all go ahead. I ask you what you think.
Well, I don't think Mariah lost. I still think she definitely got under Bria's skin, and I think everybody's still going to be, the viewers for the most part, are still going to be Team Mariah because
I'm
nobody
Team
likes.
Mariah too.
I still don't think I don't think she lost at all. I
I
think
think
that. Go ahead, Sam.
I think she did well with keeping her composure when she got hit with that piece of paper because I would have lost. They probably would have been sending me home.
Yeah.
But I will say, in that moment, it's just like with the first time they addressed Bria with the dog. It's the energy they bring to her with these conversations. They already put her on defense. To know that Mariah was already upset about the whole moon mask thing, that was that misdirected anger. So you was already upset about that. You wasn't going out with them because you had things to do.
Yeah.
So that seeing the stuff with the dog was just the instant reason for you to go off on somebody when you had been pissed off since the night before any damn way. So her approach was already wrong because she was upset about the night prior. So to me, that's they're not gonna get anything out of Bria coming to her the wrong way because you wouldn't get anything out of me approaching me. And like I'm not above reproach, but you're not gonna come check me about shit. You should have went her and tried to have a conversation, and not one time have they done that. They go to approach her in a way that is it comes off to make her want to defend herself.
I don't
It's
know. The first
also
time they didn't approach her wrong about the dog. The first time Bria got smart first, and then they started getting smart. They didn't approach her wrong the first time about the dog in any way, shape, or form.
The
I
first
agree.
time when she opened that door out in the patio when I was out there with everybody, and she was very sarcastic. Your dog is shedding. At that moment, Bria knew they was picking with her. That's why that
I
conversation.
feel like Bria is nasty, and
Yeah.
you can tell she wasted that man because that dog hair, you got me fucked up in every kind of way to the point where I'm
Asia.
like, how soon can I just get some Shein clothes in here? Because I'm not wearing my real shit. I can't do it with this dirty ass bitch and her dirty ass.
Oh my God.
I can't.
Yeah.
One,
Agreed.
two things. Second thing, them motherfucking dog clothes and that doggy toy shit, it wouldn't have made it to Bria's shoulders. That shit would have been in the motherfucking trash or in that motherfucking fire pit lit on fire. I'm not approaching with your dirty ass. You're nasty as shit. You
I
ain't
agree.
Simon. Don't bring your dirty ass man in here. Because if he's I ain't got time for the bullshit. Those two things right there. But the fact that the clothes and doggy toys did make it to Bria's shoulder, I feel like in that moment, Mariah snapped and she snapped back into, like, I feel like Mariah snapped like how Monique snapped when she hit Candace, but she snapped back out of it because I understand snapping. You go when you snap, you snap. There ain't really shit you can do about it when you snap, but it's up to you to reel that shit back in. And I think what Mariah did is she reeled that shit back in. But I ain't mad at her for them dirty ass doggy toys touching that bitch shoulder. Because if I would have pushed you with your motherfucking doggy toys, you would be on the ground.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I feel like Bria already knows that they had an issue with the dog shedding and all this other stuff. Bria was picking and doing that on purpose, in my opinion, when she put them clothes to wash with the towels. She knew that that would be a problem too. I'm sorry. I feel like it was done on purpose. I feel like Mariah approached her 100% the way she should have been approached.
You don't? Do you feel like it was a rough, Sammy, the way that Mariah approached her, or do you think it was appropriate?
Sorry.
I'm not mad at her approaching her at all, but you can tell she went in there to be confrontational, and Bria picked up that energy. That's why that exchange went the way it went.
Bria did it on
I hate to
purpose.
say it, but you have to. Why? I hate to say this because I don't like to give people wiggle room when they do the wrong thing. And Bria's been wrong in just about every encounter that she's been in this house. She's been on the wrong side. But with a girl like her, you got to clock her. You have to beat. You have to get her before you get got. And with a girl like her, I'm not saying that you walk on eggshells, but you have to tailor your approach to the person. And she is not a person that you're going to get resolution if she feels like you do anything out of the way to her. And so because of that, that is why I feel like she wins because she says, "Oh well, you know what? It's not even about the dog stuff anymore. She shouldn't have pushed me, and I can't believe she did this and did that, did this and did that." No, the issue is you have poor home training or whatever this is. You do
Dirt.
not know how to share spaces with people. You
You're
don't know how
not
to share
respecting
spaces.
our boundaries, so
You don't
that's
know how
what
to
I'm
respect people.
saying.
There are no boundaries when it comes to her, apparently.
Or Maya.
And she said that before. There are no boundaries. But
So it's none of respect towards her either.
you got to watch a girl like that. The girl like that is very crafty.
Did she
We're
throw
gonna
the
Yeah,
move
but
on.
paper
Chase, what do
first?
you do with that? Like, how do you approach that person? Because
You have to approach them.
Well, they could have
And
done it how they did last week. Pull her away from the people and then tell her what you have an issue
Mariah walked up
job
to her
greasing.
like, I'm gonna sock you in the face with this
with
stuff.
this
And
pack of clothes. That's what
and
she
you
got.
can't do that to her. And I hate
She
to say that.
snapped.
She deserves it. It's not to say that she don't deserve it. It's just to say you're not gonna get anywhere with her. You're not. And
And
you're
she
gonna
probably
be
was already moping around the house with badass energy already. They was probably ready to get the hell up
Did
out there.
Bria throw the paper
Then she
first?
come on at the door on the way out with
Bria
some
threw the paper last, but I'm
Okay.
sorry, Sammy. Bria did throw the paper last, but they were doing the fingers in each other's face, and I believe that Bria initiated that. But that was after. I don't know if that was before or after, because Bria said, "Give me the items." Well, give me the items, and Mariah said no. And then Mariah said, "You know what? Take these." And she did this, and she mushed her with the items. She did. It's just what happened.
Just as
It's
she
I
true.
feel like we have to be sorry now that I'm done snapping. I feel like
Okay, because I just wanted to say that our censors and HR have contacted us and said that we are cussing way too much tonight. So.
They said we're gonna be canceled.
it's gonna be
Well, it
my
was
fault.
fun, y'all.
Can we just bleep it out? So anyway, but sorry, I snapped. I was Monique to the bull. But that shit is see, it's nasty.
Oops.
Ooh.
It's
That's what
just
we used to say,
nasty.
oops. We have an oops jar.
But it's
And
nasty.
she's nasty. She's
It's
nasty.
nasty. It's just nasty, and I'm not trying to be funny, but Black people do not play about that.
When it comes to that
nasty
dog
shit.
stuff.
We
This
just
is not
don't.
Kyle Richards' house, Bria. Now you go ahead and you do all that stuff with Milo at Kyle Richards' house because she let the dogs cook the food at her house. Okay. But over here in the summer house down to the Martha's Vineyard, you better pick that dog up and pick behind that
But
dog.
15
That's
days
gross.
of nastiness, like if
It's
I
too much.
understand you have how you are, but I am how I am too. So I can't have to cater to every single thing that you do because you're inconsiderate. Like that's not fair to me as a human. I'm human too. So it's not your problem, but yeah, it is my problem. And it's caused because of you. So what do I do? What we gonna do about it? Because I'm gonna be me just like you're gonna be you.
Well, Loretta, I hear you. I don't feel like it was an aggressive put. The housemates feel like she pushed her. So I'm going based off
Yeah.
of what the housemates are saying. And if you
Jordan.
look at it, she pushed her.
She pushed
She
her.
pushed her.
But I would
She
say
pushed
at
her.
this point, now that Bria has set up patio, if y'all don't want to have a house meeting or something and say, hey, we need to really have some boundaries when it comes to
That's the
Milo,
kind of way you address her.
it's on them at this point because now y'all letting her run around and do what she want to do. Y'all are approaching her all wrong. You see it's not working. So if you don't say, hey, Let's get our educated asses and figure something out a different way.
Not they black excellence.
But yeah,
But like
it's
Kyra's
Right.
at this point.
And that movie excellent when it comes to Bria.
But like
Okay, y'all, we got to move forward.
Bria said, "I will slap somebody."
That's 2 times already.
We got to move forward. We got to move forward. We're getting there. Hold on, wait. We're getting there. We got to move forward because we're behind a little bit. Okay, so Bria says Mariah must have put a girl. I can't even read that. Bria's damn dumb. Bria says, well, Mariah must have put her stuff in there with the dog stuff. Had to be. And Mariah calls Bria a bitch. Now I'm paraphrasing what the show said. Okay, Mariah calls Bria a bitch multiple times throughout the conversation. Bria dares Mariah to call her a bitch again, and Mariah says, bitch. That is when Bria throws whatever she threw at Mariah. Mariah says, you know what? That's not enough to move me, so you're going to have to come harder than that. Shanice has never seen this side of Bria and heads for the hills. And Jasmine takes Mariah aside and says they're both trying to push each other's buttons, and Mariah is doing so by calling Bria the B word. Mariah says that that is how she talks, and she feels that Jasmine is taking Bria's side in the situation. Mariah says it was disrespectful for Bria to have her dog stuff with the community towels. Jasmine doesn't feel like it was blatant, and she thinks Bria is just doing her dog thing. I don't think that Jasmine wanted to call a girl dirty on camera, but that's what she was in there. And I don't think it was malicious. It wasn't like, oh, my pretty, I'm going to get the house now. It was just la 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 la. This is my dog, and I love my dog. And you know, me and my dog, we take showers together, and da 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 da. And that's what I think. I think that it's weird. I think it's off kilter or off center. I don't think it was malicious. However, it's interesting that Mariah is starting to feel like her best friend in the house is choosing the ops over her. I don't think Jasmine put that much thought into it because it doesn't look she puts much thought into anything. But what do you guys think? Very quickly, do you feel like Jasmine has chosen her side and it's not Mariah's? What are you guys thinking about that? And then we need to move right along.
I don't think Jasmine give a damn.
I don't either.
Jasmine gives a fuck. I mean, she cares about.
I think Jasmine think what you thought, Chase. Why you pushed the girl, you gave her something, you know. I think that's what Jasmine was thinking.
Okay. All right. Now, meanwhile, Bria is decompressing so that she doesn't slap anyone. And that is, again, the second time she's threatened to slap somebody in this house. And I would have said, who asked you finna beat? But anyway.
You would have leaned
Mariah
back.
is lucky. Who asked you finna beat? I want to know. Bria is very much one of those girls that would get on the bus and be like, I beat everybody ass right here. Who asked you finna beat?
Hold on, check me, boo.
Not me. Anyway. Yes. So she says that she was glad she didn't have to slap anyone, and Mariah better be lucky she didn't have a drink in her. Mariah and Preston stay back, and Mariah cries, confiding to Preston that she really wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I honestly think that coupled with what happened the night before at her moon mass, the dog getting on her nerves on more than one occasion, Bria just being an annoying little shit all in general. I think it was all encompassed into one, and Mariah took it out on her in that particular moment. That's how I honestly feel about it. She is away from her child, and she wants to make sure that if she's away from her child, that it's going to be worth it. Any final thoughts about that before we move on to the dinner?
Mm-mm.
I feel like you just got to get a girl grace. Like everybody.
Bria?
Yep. No, Mariah.
Oh, Mariah. Yeah, Mariah totally gets a pass for me. I'm not upset with her in the slightest. But I do think that she could have moved a little smarter in that situation. And I'm not going to back off of that one. Now, the group arrives to dinner, and Bria says that the third time, we have a slap shit meter. Bria says she could slap the shit out of Shanice because she left her to fight Mariah by herself. Bria gets up and leaves as she literally cannot even sit next to Shanice. Shanice goes to chat with Bria, and Bria says she wouldn't have left her if someone put her hands on Shanice, and Shanice agrees. Then some random guy offers Bria a shot, and she's like, yo, let's do the shots, bro. Let's take them. And Shanice is like, I know I wasn't never my bestie, but I am now. Run the shot. Shanice says that she never saw Bria have problems with anyone like this and doesn't know what Bria wants her to do, as she generally doesn't have feelings, and they'll get over it and everyone will be fine. what you guys think about that whole Bria and Shanice interaction, and Shanice admitting that she can be pretty cold when it comes to situations like this with other people because it doesn't involve her.
I think that what I've noticed throughout this episode, towards the ending, where we're getting ready to talk about, they are very, very entitled when it comes to their friends. From what I remember watching the scene, it was all done by the time Amir and Shanice went out and got in the car. So I don't know what Bria was expecting. Did she want to help jump the girl or something? I don't know what she was expecting Shanice to do in that moment when it was already separated. Jasmine had already took Mariah back to the laundry room. So, I mean, shit, let's go. I didn't come here out here to be watching you girls fight over some damn dog clothes. Let's go and get drunk and have fun.
And she had just got there too, Sammy.
And she had just got there. And she said she'd only be there for the weekends because of her work. So why I'm not going to waste my time with this boo. I got 2 days. Let's get the fuck up out of the house.
And you ruining it. You arguing with everybody.
Yeah. But I told y'all, I said, by the time that girl get there, we're going to have that whole house on fire. And she ain't even going to be able to enjoy herself. And the first damn day, she getting cussed out because she didn't stay by her side while she got into it with somebody.
But Shanice is acting just how Bria act. So
she want to go party.
And just how what's the other Alex. Rob? They all three act alike. So what ain't y'all friends for a reason?
Clearly.
All right. Now Phil finally arrives to the house after almost falling on the way in, and Preston is getting dressed. And Phil says, "Hey, yo, it's shot time." Milo starts to bark because he's like, "What's going on?" And Phil says, "Who is that?" And Preston says, "It's Bria's dog." And Phil says, "Oh, I thought you said it was Bria." And I said, "Ah, this nigga's a comedian. This person is a comedian." And Preston tells friend Phil not. Preston tells Phil not to let the dog out. And what does Phil do? Let the dog out. And when that's Milo, honey. When Eminem gets out of that door, baby, he takes Phil on a tour of the house. And the most important stop is to Phil's room. Excuse me, to Nick's room. So Phil is pissed and he comes to Mariah's room and she feels like this is the energy that the house was missing. And I'm like, now I gotta say you too, girl, because you don't have a good judgment. Well, it's clear you don't have a good judgment because you didn't know when in that event last night. But are you serious? Phil, Mariah, and Preston take a shot, but Nick makes it known that he's shitting in Nick's bathroom. I gotta cuss. I'm sorry. They take a shot to Black excellence, and Preston doesn't say anything, but that's because it's Phil. I don't know. I'm gonna give him a pass on this one. Mariah and Preston get in the car, and Phil joins, but not until he takes a dump and doesn't flush it. Mariah wants to shake all of the negative energy off of her from the fight and the dog, and sure enough, she shakes one of them puka shells off her head. And I said, this show is funnier than you guys know, because that was deep. You are the negative energy at times, love. Catch that dirt.
It's like imagine when they say sage in your house, and then something happened to
and
you.
You need to be the sage, right?
You heard that fade away like Thanos when he snapped.
Oh, I wish I knew about Thanos. I don't know about that. But what do you guys think? I know I haven't seen it. I know. What do you guys think about Phil's introduction to the house? Does he like a great roommate to have, you guys? And is he well within his right to be angry about Nick taking his room?
No.
Answer that first.
Who answered first?
You.
Me? I would not want to stay with Nick. I wouldn't want to stay with Bria. I wouldn't want to stay with Jasmine either. Not Nick, excuse me, but Phil. I definitely wouldn't want to stay with Phil at all. Ugh. Nothing about him is appealing as a roommate to me. And he is the dirty that y'all call it. Bria baby, like, dirty, but he is dirty.
They're the same person.
No thanks, honey. I can't. And when it comes to the room thing, if Bria didn't call it for him, that's on him. But also, you got to be there. If you're not there, then you're not there.
That's what I was saying. I would have threw that place card in the bathroom and put my suitcase and unpacked right into that room. You're not here.
For real, Danny, you like that?
You get what's left over. You're not here. You don't save those seats right here because I'm not gonna move. And can't nobody move me.
What was that? Like what was Phil? Like what is that? I don't understand what even happened. I think Preston was the most confused. Like, do I take a shot with him? Do I tell him to stop? Don't poop? Like, what? Do we wait? Like, it was so confusing in
And
general.
then what
It was
about this too?
Black Air Force One's energy.
Black Air Force Ones. Oh my God, he is such a Black Air Force One. And you know what else, Asia? It
You
also makes
said
me
me.
want to. I got side eye Bria and Shanice because they were hyping him up for the whole episode. Phil's coming. Oh my God, we're gonna love Phil. He's coming. Phil.
But
Yeah.
you know what?
And he is a big piece of trash.
Y'all touched on it earlier. It's surface friends. They're party friends. They ain't ever had to really just be in a home together. So that's what they know of Phil. He's a good time. So that's what they were looking forward to. They don't know that he's well, hell, they probably did know that he was just as inconsiderate as Bria was. But when they said he missed his first flight, and then when he dropped that stuff on the way in, I think that was just an illustration of how he is going to be while we watching him, just out of control.
But I just feel like he's the type of person who's gonna make you snap.
Clearly, we
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah. And it's at what point am I at what point am I tolerating the ignorance before I become ignorant myself? Like
Mhm.
you, how much grace are we giving everybody? You can't come with this energy and not expect me to not cuss you out. I'm cussing you out. I'm bucking up to you. I can be 2 feet tall. I can be Candy height, Todd height. I can be Alex height. I can be Shaquille O'Neal height. Baby, you're gonna stop playing with me. And when you're nasty and disgusting, clearly that's where I draw the line.
That was just too much.
You can't be nasty.
Yeah.
You're nasty. And I think most Black people, and I can't speak for anybody else but Black people, especially Black women, the dirtiness is the line. You're gonna snap. And he's dirty. I don't care how many bottles of 1942 you bring in or Clasa Azul, we can't tolerate it.
Mm. Now they go ahead and walk into the old folks club, Mariah, Preston, and they go stomping with their Black Air Force Ones. And Jasmine heads straight to the bar with Mariah, and Bria is in the corner pouting, having a fit about it. While they go immediately to the bar, Preston finds Nick and immediately tells him that Phil took a dump and moved his things. Phil tells Nick that Bria was supposed to leave a note in the room and that he took a dump in Nick's bathroom. He adds that Nick probably shouldn't let anyone in there because he didn't flush it. Silas checks on Bria and Jasmine pops in to say, I don't care about anything going on, just Black excellence, and dips out. And that tells you everything that you need to know about that childish ass girl. She is childish. She's childish, and you are the host of a 15. You are the hub. You are the host of a 15-day trip. You're gonna have to step it up and be a better host, love. And unfortunately, I want to say this. Yes, everybody is grown, and you don't have to referee everyone's battles. You can let people fight it out and duke it out and come to solutions. But if there's anyone that they're going to come to, it is going to be you because you are the center of the group and the leader of the trip. So if you want to take on that responsibility, then sometimes you have to be responsible for the responsibility if you want that to be bestowed upon you, Jasmine. Um, yes, so all of that happens, and Silas checks on Bria, and Jasmine says that, of course, as I just mentioned, Bria is the straw, and Jasmine doesn't know what side she wants to be on. And Jordan, who gets kudos from me, gets upset, and she checks Jasmine and says, "You know what? It was disrespectful for Mariah to push Bria." And Jordan then shoves Jasmine and says, "Listen, you're upset because I pushed you, so don't you think you should do something about it?" Jasmine says that she thinks Mariah is going through something and that she's the only one who can help her get through to her. Excuse me. Now I don't know if Jordan was necessarily right, but at least she said something, and that leads me to believe that Jordan kind of just feels like she stands on her principles and her beliefs. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I didn't think that she was out of bounds. I think that somebody needed to say something to Jasmine because Jasmine was going to be in La La Land for the rest of the evening, and she needed to step up and do something.
And you think it was okay for her to push Jasmine like that?
I don't think it was okay for her to put her hands on Jasmine, but I think that she was doing it to illustrate her point as to why you should probably see it from all sides involved because you're not seeing it from any one side. So the dog, stuff with Milo is disrespectful, but Jasmine feels violated because Mariah put her hands on her and you're not registering that. So if I do it to you and now you get upset about it, then could possibly see where she's coming from. But,
So Jordan's
And,
not.
what you guys think?
and this is where I side with Jasmine because you out here getting on her for not getting on Mariah when she was in that laundry room telling Mariah, hey, you was picking with that girl. You didn't have to call her no bitch. She's already addressed Mariah, but I guess y'all don't know that. So you out here making a gripe with her because Bria got her grown drunk ass in the club crying. Like, no, why are you in the club crying? Go home. That annoyed me so bad. Oh, that annoyed me so bad. And then you got Jasmine out there crying because now her and Jordan having this. I was like, no, at this point, we supposed to be having a good time. And y'all are in here crying about some BS, and then you pushing the girl trying to make a point when she's already addressed Mariah. She didn't get no kudos from me for that. I get you trying to stand up for your friend, but are you gonna talk to Bria? Are you gonna tell her to do something about the damn dog? Like, y'all are addressing kind of the wrong stuff in this moment to me.
And
Everybody needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
think
save it for the house. If we're gonna do this, let's do this at the
Really
house.
quickly, you guys. TKC, we've been doing this for a very long time, and I just got to say it. I am so tired of you being on the wrong side of history.
What are
Get
you?
it together, my brother, and get it together fast.
He said Phil has BD energy.
Oh,
But the B is dirty for me because you don't come in nobody's
He
house.
got DDE,
He's serious.
dirty
You don't like
dick
that dirty,
energy.
nasty shit either. Just saying.
Some people like the little dirty dick. Some people
No,
like it a little,
no.
man. You got to dip and bleach a little bit,
Don't nobody
and
want
then
no
go ahead and get it.
STD. Sorry.
I think the interaction between Jordan and Jasmine is exactly what the point that Chase was trying to make. That all they remember now is Mariah pushing. That's the point Chase was trying to make. That's all they remember now. They don't remember nothing else. They just remember Mariah
The
pushing
push.
her clothes. And I think Bria was acting. You was fine and turning up, and now when she gets there and you see everybody having fun with Jasmine, with Mariah, now you want to cry. Bitch, girl, go.
That would have been that. Look, I would have been in her face like, what's that? Lawrence Fishburne gif? Girl, be mad in the corner because I'm gonna have my drink and I'm gonna have my fun.
I wouldn't have
And
been in
I
her
push
face at all. We already in this club with these old people. At least can we make the
Doing the electric slide.
Okay. All right, you guys. We're gonna go ahead and push through this. It's late. We started late because of the finale. It's late. We're gonna push through the final two scenes. I am going to, because it was a big episode, I'm gonna go ahead and ask that my roommates stay with me just for a little bit. We're gonna open it up to one or two callers, and y'all got 30 seconds, and that's that. And I'm timing you tonight because we gotta go. We can't be here all night with this. All right. Let me push through these last scenes, right? So Phil tells Nick that, okay, we've got through that. Okay, great. The group arrives home, and Nick goes to the bathroom to discover that poop is still in the toilet. Nick heads downstairs and asks Phil to flush the toilet. Phil says Bria invited him, and he told her to leave a note, and she didn't. He says that there should be, oh, Lord Jesus. He says, okay, I'm going to try to transcribe this as best as I can. He says that it's like there's a law against slavery and you did not know because you live in the South, because you live in the South and you didn't know because you're minding your business slaving your slave. And everyone is confused. And he says that he's making a good point. At this point, Nick is going to okay, not yet. Okay, great. He's made his point and he feels like it's a good point. And Preston interjects and tells him to make his point and asks him, does he hear himself? And Phil turns to Preston. I'm trying to get it. And Phil turns to Preston and says, maybe if your shirt was one size bigger, and bitch, I don't give a damn. I scream. I don't care. That was funny to me because I don't like Preston with them big ass hats and them little ass shirts. Preston, I don't care. That was funny to me because I don't like Preston with them big ass hats and them little ass shirts. Preston,
He came on here to fire us. Oh, I thought he should have shut it down.
What we getting fired for?
what the hell was that? Why was Zordon popping on the Power Rangers like that? That was getting a little weird. Okay. Anyway, why would he pop up like Zordon? Anyway, like I was saying, Preston's shirt was little, and Phil called it out, and it made me laugh, and I was careful like Nick did. Nick says he's going to walk away and flush the toilet himself, and that's probably because we found out today that as of first time, Nick is actually 37, and so at first I thought Nick was a punk, but he's just too old to be going back and forth with a man who braids don't touch the back of his neck in a windbreaker suit, and so I get it. Phil says
and shitty.
And shitty, DDE, dirty dick energy, TKC. And Phil says he knows a black Air Force One. Phil says he knows that he will flush that toilet because he called out and told everyone not to touch his room, and he missed his flight, and that is not supposed to happen because he is black Air Force One, the blackest of the Air Force Ones. This finally draws the ire of Amir, who wants to know why Phil is talking like this is his house. They've been here and they've established a connection, and this is not his house. Phil tells Amir to sit his little ass down, and my man Amir tells Phil to bring his big ass over there to see what his little ass can do, and we are to be continued. I ask you, what do you guys think? I'm going to open these phone lines on. Y'all not going to be all night, and we're going to go home. Catch. Go ahead, roomies.
Well, I'm very like, I can tolerate a lot because I get people. I be knowing how people are. And I can, Danny, and I'll let things slide and go. But if I had to come home after being out in that club, they already acting the fool out here crying, and I walk in my bathroom and your petty ass really did not flush my toilet, they was putting me about the Vineyards because that is something that I could not take. That no bullshit. That would have sick me. That would have pissed me off. That is so disrespectful. It's disgusting.
You have snapped, Sammy?
I would have that. Why would you
snap, don't it?
Do that in the toilet that you don't flush it? And it's like and then I know that it's a dig to me. You gonna take your ass in there and flush that toilet, or we finna go in there and you finna flush that toilet? You can do it by yourself, or you can
Your face finna flush it.
We gonna put some furniture in this
toilet. That was disgusting. That pissed me off. That was so damn nasty. And I love Amir in this episode. One, the first time when he took the girl Bria when they were when she was crying, he went out there to make sure she was okay. And how he was sitting around just watching all that stuff going. And then when he just couldn't take no more, he popped off. Somebody needed to check Phil. That was disgusting. Could you go? Imagine going in there and seeing somebody not flush the damn toilet. Because now what other nasty stuff? Is this how you finna be the whole time? Did you do something else to the room? That would have set my body on fire.
I've never seen
Phil look like he all
30
talk
black
anyway.
people in one space in my life. That's it. That's all.
And then this is only day 4. They got 15.
Oh my God, I would have cried. Day 4.
Please go flush the toilet.
Phil look like he all talk to me.
You said what, Danny?
Phil ain't gonna bust the grape. He all talk. He think because of his height that people ain't gonna step to him.
But he's this big. He's so skinny.
He was drunk.
But he's loud. He's
drunk.
Tall. He thinks all that is doing something. Amir was gonna fold his ass, put him in the toilet and flush.
That man kayak for fun. Yeah, he gonna fold him. That little man know how to wrestle and everything.
Gonna treat him like treat Phil like a paddle.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna let some people on. We got a full house. Some of y'all I'm not gonna be able to get to because it's late, and I do apologize. So charge it, not to my heart. Charge it to the gang, dog. With that being said, oh my goodness, honey, you ain't gonna believe who we got in the building, baby. You come on with it.
Mm-hmm. Who we got in the building?
Blank square.
Oh, the introduction didn't match the presentation.
Y'all can see?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Lisa.
So when they start showing people scoring on TV. Okay, number one, they don't. I'm saying them heavy. I'm kind of heavy. 30 seconds. That's because the dog shedding and she put the stuff. That don't mean she's nasty. Believe me, I seen both sides of this. I had a dog, and my dog was like that too. I had to train my dog. You need to get the dog trained. That's all it is. Other than that, and plus, what's that is about Phil nasty. Now that's like beat his ass and kick his ass out the house. Unflushed toilet is unacceptable. Okay, we ain't doing that right there. Okay, I don't know what you're not, baby. We not in no slavery days. We got points. So you flush the toilet now. Ass and kick out the house. That's
Did Lovable Lisa say be his ass?
what we gonna have to do and get rid of that one.
Oh.
I would have anticipated it just a little bit, but it was that mess. Like, and when nobody really involved, you should use kind of respect. Okay. And us, peace out. Bria needs to do better on the team because she did go my.
What just happened?
The Wi-Fi was not Wi-Fi.
No, she was cussing like I was, and now they started bleeping it out.
No, the Wi-Fi was not.
All right,
Wi-Fi.
Lovable Lisa. I don't know what happened. I think your connection, we lost you. But we got 30 seconds. Lovable Lisa, if you can hear me, I love you. Thank you for calling in. I really appreciate you. It's so good to hear from you. And I'm really glad to see you. I want to move right on. Now, let me tell you something. I'm going to let you on here. You got 30 seconds, Cohen. I love you, baby. What's going on? How you doing, Cohen? Thank you for joining us again.
Hi, everyone. Hey, 30 seconds. That they do that same shit on Summer House, but I will say a lot of the people on Summer House, they can't do what he was doing because they're halfway drunk, so they can't finish their women the way that they should. But in other anyway, I'm not feeling Bria. I'm she's so fucking entitled. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through 10 episodes with her. And lastly, I felt very bad with the situation with Mariah. I think that, you know, everyone sharing their spiritual affirmations and just spirituality in any form. I guess that's a sacred thing. And I just felt bad for her that people weren't really receptive to that in that manner, but I also understand that everyone has their own appeal when it comes to spirituality. But I really just wish they would have respected her a little bit more. And that's all I'm going to say for tonight.
Okay. Thank you for making it short and sweet. And thank you for supporting us, Cohen. We're going to let you on out the house, but thank you so much. That's my boo right there. That's Cohen. We're going to let him in and out the house, y'all. We got to go. Hey there. I ain't seen you in a while. How you doing?
I know. I'm well. How about you? All of you?
Yeah, I know you're going to get it. I know you're going to get it. The clock
I
starts.
didn't say anything. Okay, we already know I have a problem talking fast. First, Bria proved Jasmine's point. In the second conversation, Jasmine literally said it's going to be an issue because if the trip is good, yay, it's Jasmine and Silas. If the trip is bad, it's going to be my fault. And Bria couldn't even go the next day without causing an issue with this dog that she did not tell anyone she was bringing. Obviously, if the dog's not trained, the dog is not actually an ESA dog. Because it would have been able to be on a leash in the bowling alley and not chopped up in that cage. So this whole ESA thing got to go out the door. Because if it was a real one, it would not be treated like this, okay? And for me personally, I don't really know how you approach someone. Like, you have to approach Bria the way you're up front. Because even when the first time Jasmine did it, it was cute. It was like, hey, the dog is shed everywhere. That heifer said, what can I do about it?
Clean
You
it
pull
up.
her. Yeah, so to me, I feel like the whole, oh, you have to come with her a certain way. You come with her lightly. She acting like she don't know what it is. You pull her aside. She's talking about slapping people, and there's not going to be any boundaries. Again, she's a +1, and the animal's a +1 of a +1. And you're telling me there's no boundaries for Black people
And then
on a house we rented?
+1 of the +1. Sorry.
Oh no, Heifer, we are not doing this. And all of a sudden, it's demon time. Everyone wants to come to her about this dog. And again, I love dogs. I've had many of them. But I would not bring them to especially a long-haired dog. I know, I wash my stuff with his, or you don't clean the washer correctly afterwards. It's a mess. The fur is everywhere. The hair is everywhere. She's a nasty heifer. It is nasty, okay? Clean. You do a nice little laundry sanitation afterwards. Jordan, you need to talk to your friend because that whole Jasmine pushing thing out of the club, what are we handling when the girl is drunk at the club? We're not handling anything. You have an issue with how your friend's acting now because she's married. And you're trying to use this issue between Bria and Mariah now to get your frustration up on that.
Come on now.
Because I feel like that didn't make any sense to me while we're pulling her to a side, pushing her harder than Mariah even pushed her. And my thing is, okay, Jasmine pulled Mariah to the side to talk to her. I can't do anything about Bria now when I'm acting all upset because people were welcoming to Mariah when Mariah showed up. Bria wanted everyone to ice Mariah out. And when they didn't, all of a sudden now we're pouting and sad about things. No, Heifer, you're nasty.
Not pouting.
Those are my thoughts real quick. I know I had 30 seconds. I think I went over, but I will be here again for Summer House.
Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. We love to have you on. We're going to let you at the house. All right. Oh, Lord Jesus. You keep on knocking, but you can't come in. Who is this? Hey.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Oh my gosh. This is the real Jasmine. So,
Hey, Jasmine girl.
hey, honey, I am the real Jasmine. So I'm going to make my shit quick. I agree with everybody and what they said, but my issue with Bria is the fact that every time she makes an inconvenience for someone, she always tells them that it's a personal problem, and that's what I cannot get with. Because, bitch, if you coming in and you have some shit that people ain't fucking with, then at least you can do, especially with a dog, is motherfucking clean his ass and make sure his hair ain't everywhere. So all I can say is that I have never really watched any type of summer house, so I really think this is really a refreshing show. I know that what's the name doesn't like the term black excellence, but that's all I see in this whole damn show. So I'm gonna keep saying black excellence, and I think right now Bria and Phil, of course, shitty dick. Can we cuss? I didn't
Yes.
know.
Cannot.
I can cuss. Shit a
Yes.
dingaling. Sorry. I mean a poopy ding. Whatever. At the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I just feel like that is just like immaturity, childish behavior, and I just really
Jasmine to
just
come
cannot
join the
take that.
show.
But I'm really excited to see the rest of this season, and y'all did a great job, and it was a great show. And guess what, Asia?
Thank you.
I
Yes.
love your motherfucking hair, bitch.
Come on,
Okay, get it
Yes, I love
together.
to see my sisters
Yes.
loving on each other. I love it, honey.
That's my girl. I love all Jasmines, princesses, and all.
Thank you, honey.
Period.
That's all I have to
Thank
say.
you.
Good night.
All right, our last house guest, but guess what? He actually owns the house, so we gotta let him in. Yeah.
First
Dr.
of all, my bad
Kirkwood,
for
he here
coming
to
in. I
educate.
did not mean to come in early. I was trying
We
to get
was
in the
like, what the
queue.
hell going on?
But you know, since I managed the thing, it brings me in.
Yeah,
So
it brings you
anyway,
in, yes.
really good show. I watched the entire thing from the TV screen over here. I just wanted to really quickly say that I am 100% Team Mariah all the way. I think that the way she approached Bria was fine, considering that she doesn't have to walk on eggshells like Jasmine. I don't think any of them have to, but clearly the mutual friend is Jasmine, so let her do that. But I think even in the conversation, she said, "Remember, I told you about the towels. The towels should go here." So she had a pride conversation. Mariah expressed that she was the first one that said something about the dog anyway. So I think by her knowing that, Bria should already be on guard of, okay, you know what, let me try to be a little particular, but she's not. And Bria is, like I said last week, she is the worst kind of person to, I guess, having your space, have around,
Yes.
because she has no regard to anyone else but what she has going on. Kyra made a very good point about the emotional support animal child. And I talked about that last week. I can write you a note for that. So I think somebody wrote her a note.
You are a
That
doctor,
helpful.
so you can do it, huh?
Anybody can write it. Anybody with a typewriter can do
I
it.
don't even think she got a letter written. I think she just said it.
Yeah, I think she just said it. And then as far as Jordan, no. When she pushed that girl, that was not the same. You do
That
not
was not the same.
you
She
do
put 10 on
not
20.
do to somebody,
20.
you do not try to prove a point by doing to someone what you feel was done. That's not how you do, because if let's say she spit in her face, would she spit in her face then too? To prove
Especially
that's
the
not how
person
you
who didn't do it. Like she act like Jasmine pushed the girl. She didn't.
That's not, and honestly, she did not push that girl. The scene that I saw, she said, give me the clothes, give me the doggy toy. She put them back, and then she put them on her chest. I don't think she pushed her. Was it a little nudge? Sure, but it was not to be like, oh, she pushed
It was
her.
a mush.
She was physical. I
A
don't think she
shoulder
was
mush.
physical, but like I said, kudos. I'm gonna get out of here. I applaud Mariah. She held herself together. I wish other women on TV, Monique Samuels, would have that same restraint.
All right. With that being said, I want to thank you
But
guys
yeah,
for tuning in.
good show,
And
y'all. Good
that's
show.
on Dr.
Good show.
Kirkwood.
Good show, y'all.
Thank
You asked for 30
you.
seconds.
Oh, no, you didn't. That being with that being said, I
We love
want to
you,
thank you guys.
Chase. Just to let you
I
know, we
love
love you
y'all.
so much.
I love you guys a lot. I really do. Y'all, I love y'all. I bang with y'all for real. The long way. With that being said, I want to thank the group chat, which is the comment section, the live chat section, for rocking with us. We've had about give or take about 50 people in tonight. And I was really surprised and really happy about that, considering we came on after New Jersey, which speaks to the testament of this show. There's potential. And I just hope y'all keep rocking with us and it for the season. With that being said, I want to thank my roomies, Danny, Asia, and Sammy, for clocking in tonight. We stayed up a little late. Now, with that being said, We're going to be working on some programming. The rest of the shows may or may not be live. We're going to do our best, but thank y'all for rocking with us. I want to thank Morgan, Jasmine, Cortez. I want to thank Lovable Lisa, who I love so much. My sweet baby, Cohen. Kyra. Did I miss anybody else who called in? Tanya and Ulysses.
And the real Jasmine.
The Real Jasmine, Art World, Sean S., everybody in the group chat, and everyone on the stage, of course, for giving us your opinions. Did you guys have any final opinions before we leave out for the evening?
Just a reminder to everybody to flush the toilets, please, after you use the
Flush
bathroom.
your toilet.
And wash your hands.
I just want everybody to give everybody grace when they reach their breaking point.
Yeah, and you know what? I just want to be very clear.
Including Monique Samuels.
Including
Catch
Monique
that
Samuels.
dirt. And Mariah Hug. Oh, Lord Jesus. Anyway,
And Mama Lucy.
with the, period.
Good night. Good night.
With that being said, we're going to lean out, and we'll see you guys soon, okay? Thank you.
Good night.
Wait, okay, now bye.